We're going. Nolan, do your thing.
Welcome to the Nerds Cantos.
All right, you broke the silence. I feel like that was a pretty record silence for the
Yeah.
Nerds Cantos there. I was really hoping. One of these days, I honestly kind of just want to upload like an hour-long video that's just you saying "Welcome to the Nerds Cantos," and then we don't say anything for the rest of it. Just fucking nothing. Not even an outro. Just the intro to the Nerds Cantos, and there's no photos either. It's just a black screen.
That sounds so enjoyable.
I'm gonna do it one day. I'll put white noise in the back too, actually. So it'll be like fall asleep to this Nerds Cantos episode, and it's you saying "Welcome to the Nerds Cantos," and then just for an hour. I'll do it. I'll put it out before this video. Fuck it. Fans of the three fans we have, thanks. Well, they'll have no idea what the fuck is going on, and then this video will drop afterwards, and it'll be, their brains will explode. All right, regardless, we're talking about once and future day. Let's get to the topic because big name Nolan over here doesn't have that much time for today's episode.
No, I
According to
do.
him,
I've got
I don't know.
plenty of
Stewie, back
time.
me up. That's not what he said before the
Yeah,
episode.
it's just not what he
That's
said.
just not
He's
what he
just
said.
just changing his mind.
So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna make this a 3-hour episode about once and future. All right. So that's not true.
I will fail my class if we do that.
Let's do it. Let's go, dude. Let's go. I don't think we can talk about once and future for 3 hours, but here's what we're actually gonna do. Now, I said we were gonna do this for the JoJo's video, but we lied in that video. During the JoJo's video, I said we weren't gonna fully recap Part 7, right? And then we ended up doing that anyways. Not this time, because I think not a lot of people have read Once and Future. To my knowledge, it's sold pretty well, but I feel like not a lot of people read American comics, especially compared to something like JoJo's, right? So we'll have a spoiler section, but I don't want to do like a full spoiler on this because I would rather people listen to our thoughts and then go read it because I think this is really good. And with that, I'll shoot it off to you guys. What do spoiler-free thoughts? What do you think on Once and Future?
It's one of the fucking coolest things I've seen. Like,
I should mention,
art-wise.
written by Kieran Gillen, and the art is done by Dan Mora. And the colorist does beautiful colors, but I don't have their name up right now, so sorry. I'll throw it up on screen. Continue, Nolan.
Just beautiful. And very violent.
Oh, very violent.
What about you, Stewie?
No, I was just waiting for you to finish. I do like the art, and the colors are very well inked. Do you want to talk about like our complaints now, or you want to save that?
Yeah,
for,
any non spoiler complaints you have,
the pacing is very quick. Like
Fucking nuts.
this is
breakneck.
Yeah, it's a very short book. It's only 30 pages, and there are major time skips like every 50, I would say not even 15, like every 10 or so chapters there's like a big time skip.
It's after like every arc, I guess. They don't call them arcs, but that's kind of what they are. So it's after every arc, and it'll be like 5 months have passed, and it's like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, but the writing was pretty good, despite being like the story itself being very not rushed, but they don't really give you a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, I guess that's all I can say, because yeah, everything else is good. The art's good, the writing's good. The covers are great. I love the covers.
That's probably what people will be seeing most of the time during this video, and God, the covers are so good.
Yeah, the character designs are also very good.
Characters,
like all the villains are unique and memorable, I would say. Even like the non-named ones, they have unique designs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're gonna know they're also based on. I guess I should have led with this. If people don't know what Once and Future is, it's, I guess the simple idea of it is like, what if all those myths you've heard of all the time were like real, but they only become real once you're made aware of them. And so like the main characters are a part of like a secret. I don't want to say secret society because that's not really what it is, but that's the best way to describe it. They're part of like a secret society who essentially just kill King Arthur and folk whenever they
They're
pop up.
Belmonts.
Yeah, they're kind of like the Belmonts from Castlevania. So the basic premise of this is like King Arthur and Merlin are back, and like the main characters have to stop them from enacting their wizard machinations.
They're just killing all the British people.
Well, that's what Arthur's doing. Yeah, Arthur's killing a lot of British people,
Yeah.
which I guess. Oh,
No, go ahead,
okay.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, who did you guys like the characters? It's still spoiler free. I was gonna say like who's your favorite character, and then
I like the main villain, yes. I liked the I guess he would be the main protagonist. I did like him.
Duncan.
Yeah, I guess we could say your names. I like Duncan. Rose is cool, but that's kind of a spoiler. I won't say it.
Okay, we'll get to.
You know, anyways.
All right, my spoiler-free favorite character is the grandma.
Bridget. I have their names. Yeah, or I just ended in my notes. I just called her Gran because I thought that was easier to spell than Bridget over and over again.
I wrote Bridge.
That works too. I figured you'd like Bridget, Nolan. I assumed going into this that would be your motherfucker because she murders people,
She
and
kills
I
a
know
lot of
that's what Nolan likes here.
Yeah, definitely all I look for in a character.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a Duncan guy though. I like Duncan and I like Lancelot. Those are my two favorite characters. Lancelot goes hard.
I do like Lancelot. I didn't want to say anything because I don't know if you.
I mentioned King Arthur earlier, so I feel like
yeah, so I guess it's not that much of a spoiler.
Yeah.
Lancelot is my favorite.
So, you gonna. You don't have to go. That's fine too. So
I said he's cool. That's all. Okay,
well, I figured you had something more to say. You mumbled it, but fucking idiot. God, man, really holding up the podcast, Mr. High and Mighty over here, really holding it up on us. Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
So I've got I can edit this out if you if we want to edit this out. I can totally cut this bit. Regardless, I've got two questions before we get to the spoilers. I was gonna ask you guys. So, one, what would you rate it? Out of 10, and then also how much of like Arthurian myth or legend did you know going into this, and then do you now that you've read it, are you inclined to research more about it?
So I mean, from Arthurian myth, all I know is like, the normal shit.
Okay.
And whatever I learned from the half of that.
Excalibur. The 80s movie
Excalibur.
Excalibur, yeah.
Saw half of that movie, so I kind of knew some of that stuff. Yeah, but no, I mean that's pretty much all I knew. I knew the Grail Knights went and got the things, and Galahad does his thing, and
Okay.
So
you didn't watch Merlin. You didn't watch all 5 seasons of Merlin from BBC as a kid, did you?
I did. I don't.
Oh, you just don't remember any of it?
Though.
Okay, so we're clearly two different people here. Because I remember all of BBC's epic that was Merlin. Maybe a little too well, but what would you rate it, Nolan?
Probably a very strong 8.
Okay. I agree with you, by the way. I'm a solid 8. What about you, Stewie?
I am also a solid 8. It could easily be a 10 if it was a little bit longer and some characters were explored more, I think. I did know a bit about Arthurian legend because for our listeners, me and Xander, we do talk about mythological things because we're losers.
Yeah, I know too much. I need help.
So we talk a lot about that. So I knew a little bit about it. Yeah, I basically knew the basics. Knew how it started. Knew what happened in the middle. Knew how it ended. There were some unique things that they throw to you throughout the story, though. Some like curveballs. So, yeah. definitely some twists that I wasn't expecting.
For sure. There's a couple twists in this book, which I guess we can get into now. We've covered our cover the spoiler free, I guess, is the last thing. I personally, I guess you guys can answer this too. I think everyone should go read it. Even though it's a solid 8, I think the art, easy 10. And I think just for that alone, you should read this. But it's also a pretty funny book. I really like British humor, and there's a lot of British humor in this. So if you're into that, check it out.
You could probably knock this out in like an afternoon or
Oh, if you're a fast reader,
in
this
a
shit's
few
easy.
days.
Yeah, if you read fast, especially if you read comics fast, which is like a whole nother thing, such an easy read. But with that being said, you guys want to get into spoilers?
Yeah.
First major spoiler: fuck Elaine. Fuck Elaine.
Fuck Elaine,
Our
okay.
Mary, our
What?
Nemu, whatever her
yeah,
name is.
Well, her
Hate
name's
her.
whatever it needs
Worst
to be. Rose.
character.
I think her name's Rose. That's her real name. I'm pretty sure her real name is
No,
Rose.
No, Rose is Duncan's
No,
girlfriend.
Rose is Duncan's girlfriend. I'm sorry, you're right. Elaine is her real name.
Elaine.
Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. She has a
It's
lot of names. She has a lot
Mary,
of fucking names.
then Elaine,
Yeah.
then Nemu. I hate her. Worst character. Easily the main villain. The main villain. Not Arthur. Not any other Arthur. Her.
She is
her.
she's the driving force of most of the conflicts. Because I think they could have killed Arthur pretty easily without.
Yeah, no, she
without
causes
her
every problem.
assisting. Do you agree with that, Nolan? Do you also hate Elaine?
She's a bitch.
She's
Yeah,
definitely
I mean,
a bitch. Yeah, I mean,
she's just a problem starter.
She is the problem. She doesn't start them.
is
She
the
is
problem,
the problem.
I actually like Rose. I didn't mean to fuck their names up. I think Rose.
Yeah,
is cool.
Rose. Second spoiler complaint. Very good character, but she is not in like the first 15 chapters. Basically,
She
she
doesn't do
is
a lot.
just not there.
Sort of
She is
background.
basically like the guy in the chair trope, but even like more attached. I would say it's mostly just Bridge.
Yeah.
I'm keep calling it Bridge and Duncan for like the first 15 chapters. And they do remedy that. Like there's a little bit of a little tiny arc of Rose like being a part of the like monster hunting trio or myth hunting trio where she's like, I want to help you guys. But she should have just been helping them from the start more, I
Yeah,
think.
it took a minute to get Rose. And once she's in, she's in. But it took a little bit for that. Nolan, we haven't talked about this. Me and Stewie have talked about this. Because, we've been... Mr. High and Mighty over here doesn't know how to finish a series on time.
It's yeah. That's it.
And me and Stewie like to talk. But what did you think of the 3 different Arthurs?
Okay, so we had undead Goofy
I
Arthur,
call him Arthur 1, but yeah.
French Arthur,
Mm-hmm.
and other white and red Arthur.
Stewie, what do you call the?
I called the first one Lich Arthur. I called the second one Common Rider Arthur because he looks like a Common Rider. And I called the last one Metal Gear Arthur because he has a Metal Gear that he uses.
Straight up.
Unironically, an actual Metal Gear that he
It's-
pilots and commands.
Yeah, they take him out way easy though. He's not. Metal Gear Arthur gets fucked up bad.
The fucking giant shot a bow at it. That shit was
Yeah,
nuts.
Little
Little
Giant
John,
shot the bow at it,
John
but-
shot a
Little
giant
John.
That is-
javelin.
That is maybe one of my favorite moments though, like because I think it's after Arthur 1 kills the French Arthur and he's like, I've done it, yay, and then they turn around and there's just another Arthur in a big fucking mech and it's like, okay, all right, man, it's fucking crazy. I love Arthur a lot in this. I don't know why. I just
Yeah, Lich Arthur's the
I lived
best. I
Arthur
have
so
some-
much because he's so stupid.
He's so dumb.
Like
Let me
he's
put
such an
some
idiot.
screenshots for you, so
Yeah.
you don't have to scroll
Oh,
up.
no, nice. He's just like everything he does, he's always just like Merlin tells him to do a thing, and he's like, "Oh, okay, all right. I mean, if you say so, like, all right." Until the other Arthurs show up, and then he just constantly wants to kill him.
Nay.
Well, the moment where he does kill the French Arthur, I fucking love that moment. I scream. He's like, how do they say it in your language? On guard, and then they run at each other screaming "pretender," and then they kill each other. Nolan, you just sent this. I know you just because you sent a little attachment in Discord. Would you like to talk about Robin Hood?
Oh, dude. So my actual favorite character is Robin Hood. You meet him for like a whole of 5 chapters, and he's just fucking cool.
He looks cool.
What did he say? He had a really cool line where he's like, "I have 3 arrows, and before the night is over, they will find homes." And, and they end up joining the merry men, and before the night's over, he sinks those 3 fucking arrows into those 3 poor French bastards, and it's just Wait, which one's the French one? Is the French one the Common Rider one? Or the Mech?
Yeah.
No, the Common Rider one is the French one. The
Okay.
the fucking mech one.
19th century.
Yeah, he's the
Okay. Yeah.
he's like the turn of the century Arthur.
Okay. Then him just fucking up the turn of the century dudes. Pretty cool.
Goes hard.
And I like the line where Duncan's like, "Hey, Gran, did we just join the Merry Men for a quick travel system?" And I'm like, "Oh my god!"
I mean, that's what they do.
And they just look cool. And the Merry Men, I was expecting them to all look cool, and not just a bunch of just fucked up
Yeah, they were.
fairies and
Yeah,
giants
it's bad
and shit.
looking. Yeah, it's because the Merry Men don't matter. Robin Hood's the only one that.
Yeah,
sure I
I
just
do
upset
like
some
how
Robin Hood
they
fans. I'm trying to
imply
piss somebody
Robin
off.
Hood is like the oldest myth in Britain. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's because he kills kings. You know, it's
Yeah.
just kind of a fun little thing. But I want to talk about real fast. I want to talk about my boy Lancelot. Okay,
Best character,
This guy,
best side character.
he looks awesome. Every scene Lancelot's in, always the coolest looking guy at the table. Just the bits of comedy with him, where every time he sides with an Arthur, and then one of the characters just goes, "Hey Arthur, he fucked your wife," and then Lancelot like runs away because Arthur loses his mind at it. I fucking love that. Just every single time Lancelot's like, "Oh shit, I gotta dip, I gotta get out of here." But then the ending with Lancelot like accepting Galahad as his kid, Galahad dying, which I thought was pretty sad, and then Lancelot killing a god. It's cold as hell. Cold as hell. What do you guys think of Galahad?
Poor fucker category.
Yeah, I feel so bad for this dude getting
Back to Elaine. Galahad, I guess we're in the spoiler section.
Yeah.
Small little bit of context. Galahad was Elaine's kid. She left him to the wolves. And by the wolves, I mean the zombie
Not on
Lich
purpose.
Arthur.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose.
She does love him in a very weird and not weird. She does love Galahad. Her entire motivation is saving Galahad and then fixing Galahad, which she does end up doing. However, when he does get fixed, he fucking dies because he was sent through the Grail Castle, which is essentially a roguelike. I think it's like a Binding of Isaac level.
Yeah, it just keeps spawning monsters for the night to overcome.
And he like every night he'll just come back fucked up. Also, he's a horseman. He's a centaur.
Yeah, he's a centaur because he died once. He got like cut in half, and Merlin had to piece him back together. In exchange,
well, he also sits
Elaine
on
started working for him.
He also sits on the chair.
Yeah,
what's the throne called? What's that?
Art.
I have it written down. What's it called?
Yeah, what's up with that throne?
So that's a Merlin thing from.
I think I have it written down too.
Lore, if you find it, I'll explain. So, to my knowledge, I remember I had to look it up a little bit ago, but I think it's Merlin's throne or a throne Merlin finds that's supposed to like. It's supposed to test whoever sits on it to see if they're like worthy of, nonsense. And then if you sit on it and you're not worthy, well, bad things happen to you very clearly, because that's what happens to unfortunate Galahad, who also is covered in maggots half the time, which is.
Yeah, because he's a zombie.
Yeah, he's like a zombie horse guy. There's be moments where he just like melts maggots out of him, and he's like, "Sorry about the maggots," and I'm always like, "Oh, poor guy." Like every single time, I'm like, "Man, can't catch a break." Is there anything you guys wanna?
I was looking for the chair name. I can't find it in my notes.
Oh yeah, I think I'm near it. So you guys say something.
I'm trying to think of what else to say. Oh, this happens later in the series, but there's a part. I think it's after I can't remember where specifically. Oh yeah, no, I remember now. It's Elaine. So Elaine, who's working with Merlin, goes rogue finally because she figures out Merlin has been, jerking her chain because he's Merlin. So she tracks down Rose, who is the main protagonist's girlfriend and one of the main characters. Yeah, I haven't already gathered. Uh, and nearly shoots her because she's like she points uh she points out where to go for Dunk and Bridget because she can like sense that, which
Yeah.
isn't really explained that well.
No, they kind
It's just
of
kind
just
of
rush
yeah,
over that.
it's just kind of a thing she can do. She senses like on a map where like the myths appear at. So Rose is about to get killed by Elaine, and then the government shows up, but specifically a part of the government that is literally just like one guy. He basically shows up with like a small squad of soldiers, and this one guy is the one who like keeps tabs on the family. So Bridget, Duncan, and Elaine, because they're all related. Elaine is Duncan's mother, and Bridget is the grandmother. So this like family who hunts myths. There's this one guy in the government who like watches over them, make sure they aren't causing the apocalypse or gaining power through myths, which is what Elaine is trying to do. So he shows up and helps Rose, and after helping Rose, he goes and finds the other two. And when he finds the other two, uh, he has a soldier with him. Him and the soldier go into the Grail Castle.
Talking about
uh,
James. That's the
yeah,
soldier's name,
James.
yeah.
Fucking James. I have it written down. I hate James.
What a little guy.
Asshole.
Yeah, James to finish what you're saying, Stu, he exposes the myth to the world, and then all of Britain is taken over by the
He
other
causes the
world, as they
apocalypse.
call it. Yeah,
He
it's
causes
the apocalypse. Which he does, he repents for it. Okay, I don't want to say he fully repents for it, but he comes back at the end. He's like,
He dies.
Well, yeah, he does die, but he comes back and he's like, I didn't realize that was gonna happen. My bad. He's like, oops, sorry.
Then he gets cut in half.
And then he gets
I
murdered.
mean, all I'm saying is
So-
the Fed guy told him.
He
told him
him,
what would happen.
But listen, Bors, aka the Prime Minister, got it much worse because he tells the world, and then Arthur immediately shows up, cuts him in half, and goes, "Die, Anglo-Saxon scum," and then goes on a killing spree. So I guess it works out. Everything works out in the end,
Other than the world getting teleported into hell.
The world does get slightly teleported into hell, where you meet there's a couple Greek mythology things thrown in there with
Yeah, there's some curveballs. We didn't mention Beowulf yet.
I was about to bring up what do we all think of Beowulf /
That was fun.
Grendel and Grendel's mom.
Oh my god, the Grendel.
I really like the Grendel stuff.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Grendel
In the
stuff was
nursing
great.
home, bro.
I felt so bad for those poor people getting eaten alive.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Got some gnarly
there's
screenshots here.
they'll all be on screen. This comic gets pretty gory, especially in the Grendel's mother segment. The
people
fucked
get
up things
murdered.
happen. I'm trying to think of all the myths they wheeled in, so that was cool. I think Nolan, you talked about liking the Green Knight. What did we all?
Oh, dude. Green Knight was nuts. I think at the end, Green Knight was cool.
Mm-hmm.
With his entrance was cool in the bar, killing all those Nazis.
Killing the Nazis.
Yeah, he fucking chucked the head at another one. That was sick. But that end, Rose v Green Knight, where Rose gets fucking bisected, that shit was like, damn.
Yeah, I guess we can talk about that. Rose.
Brutal.
So if you're watching the spoiler section and you haven't read it, I don't know what you're doing. Get the fuck out of here. But if you're gonna stay, the way it works is when there are myths, certain people embody those myths and then they become those characters and live out what happens in them. And Rose ends up embodying Arthur, which you find out at the very end. So it's kind of a weird. I mean, I like it, but it kind of feels like it comes out of nowhere, at least in my opinion. Yeah. But then yeah, so she gets cut in half, and then right as that happens, you find out she's Arthur. So she like comes back and pulls
Well, she had
Excalibur.
the
Well,
no,
she has Arthur's
the-
Excalibur's scabbard, which heals people. But after that, she like pulls the sword out of the stone and gets a cool badass anime transformation, and then like beats up Merlin and Arthur and the Green Knight.
Green Knight gets killed by Arthur.
Oh, does he get killed by Arthur?
Arthur comes and one-shots him,
Yeah,
and
I love
Rose
his
kills
design,
Arthur in a
though.
cool 1v1 thing.
Yeah, the Green Knight, he looks awesome.
He looks fucking dope. Also, what do we think of the giant from Jack and the Giant Beanstalk?
Yeah,
Oh
Jack's
God.
giant.
Yeah, just he looks so fucked up. Like he doesn't look.
He looks
good.
like a Silent Hill monster.
Yeah, it's honestly terrifying looking at him, and I didn't expect him to show up. Like, there's some stuff towards the end because you think it's all about like Arthur stuff, and then like the Greek mythology things kind of happen, and then, you know, the giant from Jack and the Giant Beanstalk show up. So some crazy shit goes down. There's also a lot of fairies in this.
Bastards.
Yeah, and they don't use the word fairies; they just call them bastards. But, you guys have anything else you want to spoiler talk about?
Not really. I think we covered most of it.
I really liked the Gorgon and I forget which name.
Elioid, I think, is how you say his name.
That was like a badass fight.
I wish he survived. I
Yeah, me
wish he fucking. The images will be on screen, but like Bridget or someone goes, "By the way, there's a Gorgon around the corner. You can't look at it in its eyes." And he goes, "That's fine. I'm a knight," and then rips his eyeballs out and screams,
Okay.
"Fight me!" as he fights this Gorgon.
I
Which
think I
is
also took a screenshot of him before he ripped his eyes out. Let me see if I can find it.
yeah, it's cold as hell as he takes it off. He's insane because he shows up out of nowhere. He shows up, and then
Yeah,
just
because he came
dies.
looking for Percival
Yeah.
and Gawain, which are Rose and Duncan,
Duncan.
respectively.
And then they're like, "Fuck you," and he's like, "Okay, I'll kill you." Just insane. Also, I have it written in my notes, and I want to bring it up because I slightly brought it up. I have it written in my notes that 2 times it happens to Lancelot that someone tells the Arthur he's working for that he, 1, slept with his wife, and 2, is a French person. The French part freaks the first Arthur out, and then the sleeping with the wife pisses the French Arthur out. Which is, I fucking love it. I love that it happens twice.
Goofy.
My
as hell.
favorite. That's my favorite joke in the,
It's
in the
pretty
entire
funny.
thing. I don't know. I just love that the Arthur, like the first Arthur, gets really mad that he's French.
Please put the picture of him sulking on the screen.
I
while we're talking about
absolutely will
this.
put the photo of Lancelot. He's the most normal of them all. He's the only one of the like myths who you can just hold a conversation with because the other ones are fucking crazy.
So weird.
And then Lancelot's always just like, I don't know, man. I'm just here. But he does have he's like the best moments. When he first, like when he's fighting Arthur's army and just kills like a horde of skeletons. Like everything will be on screen, but that's dope. Him killing King Lear at the end is awesome. I guess the one thing we could talk about, unless you guys have anything else before we can end it, because there's not a lot. You know, this is pretty short. It's not like JoJo's. This is a pretty short story. What did me and Sue talked about this, but Nolan, what did you think of Merlin and Arthur's backstory?
I thought it was interesting. I wasn't expecting it. Him being a bard and that whole just you're not a wizard.
Yeah, not actually Merlin or
You're
Arthur.
not. You're just some random dudes. All right. Interesting decision.
Yeah, just like fate has, like they twisted themselves into the Arthur Merlin lore that they're just forever stuck as that. Which is very
That
interesting.
Merlin is just so just defeated.
Yeah, because he's
I
done
like
this 1,000 times.
Yeah. I like this line he said to Elaine. He said, I've had a cup in my hand longer than you've been alive, woman." I'm like,
Yeah, it was good. I also like at the end that he's like, "Thanks for killing me. Do it again. The next time I show up, you're gonna have to do it again, and I really don't want to do this, but I'll do it."
Such is life.
Yeah, such is life. Also at the end they throw in the story of Orpheus. I just want to mention that because I like Greek mythology a lot. They just added, they throw in the Gorgon, the river Taith, I think, and then I'm pretty sure, or the river Leth or something. It's one of those rivers, and then the story of Orpheus out of fucking nowhere, and it's like, okay. And I really like how excited they all get over it. It's a my literally me moment. They're like, "Hey, we're doing the story of Orpheus. Isn't that fun?" And then Elaine kills herself, which I'm sure made you guys happy. I've made
Days in
happy,
Hades, where she belongs.
Yeah, that was pretty nice.
I wish we got to see the Merrymen do the play.
Yeah, I would have liked more Merryman. It should have been a bit longer. I mean, we said that at the beginning. That's definitely the biggest problem. It could have been easily an extra 20 issues longer.
Yeah, 'cause there's just so much time where the trio's with the rest of the survivors, and they're just like time skipping around and not like explaining how the fuck are they all staying alive in this hellscape.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely needed more. Also, just to flesh out the other characters, because like Arthur 1 and Merlin 1 are really fleshed out, and like Lancelot's really fleshed out, but then like the other Arthurs get nothing. Robin Hood gets a little, but not a lot. Like, I don't know. They could have done a lot more.
What about Jack, boys? What about Jack? I feel like Jack
I really like Jack, and then he disappears after he kills the giant.
Yeah, I was about to say Jack. He had his mini arc, but that was it.
He there's this scene near the end where he's like, "Oh, is Jack Frost real? Am I Jack Frost too?" Wait a minute. I was like, "Oh, that'd be neat."
I definitely think this could, and I should mention, I know people don't make art, so it can be adapted into a TV show, but I feel like if this was made into a TV show, this could easily be like, you could make like 5 seasons of it and make it like flesh it out,
Mm-hmm.
That being said, it'd have to be animated. Please never make this live action. If they ever did this, make it look like the art. No, I don't know. I've heard rumblings. Awful. I've heard like that it might happen, and it was one of the more famous recent indie comics. And like I said at the beginning, it sold decently well. So there's a high chance of it being made into a show, but it better be animated.
You cannot do this live action.
You could have just looked like Merlin on the BBC. So I don't know if that'd be smart. Everyone's seen the Merlin dragon. If not, it's on screen right now. I don't want to see that ever again. So please don't.
Yeah, there's like 4 different dragons in this.
There's a lot of dragons, and there's a lot of big things, and a lot of massive things going on in this. So, be very careful if they make this a thing. With that being said, you guys got any closing remarks you want to make?
Nope. I really like this. It was a good, easy read.
I hope Elaine is burning in Hades.
We've talked about it before. That's not how that works, okay? I've ranted about Greek mythology. Hades is not hell, okay?
I don't care.
We're not going to get into it.
I hope she's burning it.
Yeah.
Maybe she's freezing in there.
That's also not. That's the wrong hell. That being said, because Mr. Bigwig Nolan over here, he's really got to go. He's got to go on all those big podcasts. He's too big for the Nerds Cantos now.
Yeah, that's exactly.
As you'll notice, he won't be in the next episode. So yeah, we'll end this one pretty early. So thanks for everyone coming by, and maybe check out the other videos on this channel, and have a good one.
Bye.